Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fence Appearance at SoundCloud, SoundClick, your boy Turn 202. What's happening to my neighbors near and far, those who watch my channel? God bless you and yours, and I hope everything is going well during this not so bad winter. Tea tree oil, and no, I don't drink. It's just a promotion I did. But this tea tree oil, man, it's really good for you. Really good for your skin. Anyways, let's get into it. All right, so I've been listening to you guys, and Donald Gilbert. I don't know if you I don't know if you like me or not, Donald. I don't. You're something else. You bring up the oddest points that only you bring up. Like nobody else is focusing on some of the stuff you say, but it's interesting conversation. Good enough, Donald. Good enough. You're still the man. So I think Sanchez is coming around to the reality that the Eagles might lose the Super Bowl. Now, one of the reasons probably why Sanchez is coming around to that is not because the Pats are better than the Eagles. I mean, we're always throwing the quarterback out there. You know what I'm saying? Being that they don't have Carson. Let's just face it. If Carson Wentz was in the Super Bowl, none of us would be going, oh, the Pats are a shoo-in. We'd be going, it's going to be a close game. You know what I'm saying? We still think Tom might pull it out because of who he is and where he's at. But, being that Carson Wentz is not there, it's like we just don't think the Eagles are going to win. You know what I'm saying? We've already seen this showdown before. It was really something is the last time these two teams met in a Super Bowl, you still had the same, three people who were leading the Patriots. You still had Robert Kraft. You still had the coach, and you still had Tom Brady. The coach's name, Bill Belichick, and Tom Brady. So it was still there. But anyways, this conversation is about the ratings. Now, I called it the Nelson, but it's actually pronounced the Nielsen ratings. It's spelled Nielsen. It's the Nielsen ratings, but I've talked about this before. And a lot of you guys have commented on the Nielsen rating as the reason why I'm making this video, because it is pertinent information. Now, we all knew that Blake Bortles wasn't gonna. Blake Bortles, we already knew he wasn't gonna make it, and it wasn't because the Jags are not a good team. It wasn't because the Pats are better. It's simply because of the ratings. It's simply because of the NFL and the way it is fashioned and the money that's behind it, and of course the money that's been put behind it by the U.S. military. All right, I notice none of you said anything about that, but I have mentioned this before. Especially when the whole falling Kaepernick was going on. But the whole Colin Kaepernick debacle, which actually elevated him as a person. But nonetheless, the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, was it Undisputed that bring it out? Or is it First Take? I think First Take bring it out with the black guy who does all the yelling. And he was like, look, they didn't even have this issue until 2009, where everybody stood up because it was patriotic. Yada. Y'all know the story, but nonetheless, the military wasn't involved. People sat down during the national anthem. When the military got involved, it was ethical and morally right for you to stand up, but it wasn't a law. It wasn't you're breaking the law. You're coming against America. All right. Anyways, so that has also affected ratings because they were trying to get more people to go ahead and join the military for the war machine that is America, that has soldiers in, over, 200-300 places that they don't belong, several different countries that we just have no idea why we're even there. Yada, yada, yada. You guys can get into that on your own. Pat Tillman, RIP to you, sir, who was an example of that. Kind of when it all started. But the whole Pat Tillman back in 2002, go ahead and look up the story of what happened to Pat. Anyways, getting to the Nielsen ratings, let's just go back to last year. So I'm just going to read something a former analyst had it's on the internet. You guys can look at it yourself if you want. It says formerly worked as an analyst at CNBC. The NFL television ratings fell 9.7% during the 2017 regular season, according to the numbers registered by Nielsen. A typical game was watched by 1.6 million fewer people this season as compared to last season's 14.9 million versus 16.5. Okay, so when this happened, when this was happening, I also made a video about it. Now, the falling ratings means falling revenue. See, if you guys don't understand that, you need to look into the Nielsen ratings a lot more, especially some of you wisecrackers on my channel. You guys are so smart, but you guys don't, you think you got it all, covered, and then you come to me with all this analytical stuff, but a lot of you don't even get into this, and I'm sure one of you wiseacres is going to come at me sideways about this, but you're going to do it without doing your research. And I'm not here to try to teach you something or convince you of nothing too much other than that the NFL is fixed. But I'm not really trying to convince you of that. I'm just showing you different things that are out there and the way it's fixed and why it's fixed. If you choose to believe it, that's on you. If you don't, I'm still going to sleep good at night. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. But nonetheless, for you guys who don't believe it's fixed and you're subscribing to my channel, thank you for my new subscribers. I'll go down a list of you if I can find you in the comments. But thank you to my new subscribers. If you guys are paying attention and you're really paying attention and you start pulling up this information, do like the gematria guys do. Blake Bortles equals 77. Go on the internet, pull this information up and start looking at it and do a comparison by year. Do that. Do a comparison by year. This is one reason why I said, what would the ratings be next year if Pittsburgh played Dallas? Now, when you think about that, the reason why I brought those two teams up, because one, they're two apex teams. Okay, this is not Jacksonville that we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? This is not there's a few teams out there like the Buccaneers. You know what I'm saying? The Buccaneers won once in the last how long? You know what I'm saying? What was the record last year? They were like 5-11 or whatever in the world. But nonetheless, it's a major these are major franchise teams. These two teams, Pittsburgh and Dallas, not saying they're gonna go to the Super Bowl, but the ratings would go up if these two apex teams played. And dramatically, and somebody also said one of the major teams will always win a Super Bowl. I'm not too sure about that. But nonetheless, and they also said the reason why the reason why the Vikings didn't win is because the Super Bowl has never been played in the same, like the Vikings, the Super Bowl was not going to be played in Minnesota and the Vikings were going to be hosting. Like, it's never been that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brady is not going to host a Super Bowl in Gillette. You know what I mean? That type of thing. I didn't really know that. But see, that's the kind of stuff that I like to hear because I can feed it back to the masses of my Donald Gilbert 1,000, only 1,000 subscribers. Look, I love my 1,000 subscribers, bro. Because a year and a half ago, I only had 400 subscribers. So you can go ahead and comment on that if you want, but my channel is progressing every day, okay? So, peace to you on that, brother. Nonetheless, so I wanted to bring up the Nielsen ratings, and I just wanted to have a conversation about that because it's very, very, very important. Now, I'm going to look at the Nielsen ratings before I stop here and of 2018, and I'm going to see if it brings up. Okay, NFL ratings continue. Okay, so here's an article by the New York Post. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to try to, I'll just glance through the basic preface of it. Basically, it said the miracle finish not enough to save the NFL. Okay, it's gone into the article now. My internet is slow, but it's basically saying that that miracle finish by the Vikings not enough to save the NFL. See, the NFL is continuing on a downslide. And as long as they continue on the downslide, there's going to be a constant effort to keep that momentum, to get that momentum back to what it is because of the major revenue that it creates. And this is why Blake Bortles wasn't going to be in the Super Bowl. But nonetheless, I'm saying all this to say next year, see what happens. You're going to see Tennessee won't make it to the Super Bowl. I don't care how good they are. You can put all the superstars on Tennessee. They will not make it to the Super Bowl. The Titans will not make it to the Super Bowl. The last time the Titans was in the Super Bowl was against the Rams. And they lost. Eddie George. I talked to Eddie George about that. But you're not going to see Casey Keenum. You're not going to see Casey Keenum in the Super Bowl. You're not going to see that. It's not going to happen. Blake Bortles, you're not going to see that. I'm going to tell you who you might see in a Super Bowl. You might see Jimmy Garoppolo. Why? Because it's sexy. It's financially sexy to see somebody like Garoppolo in there. For one, he's new. Two, he was traded by the Patriots. When the Patriots could have easily kept Jimmy Garoppolo, got rid of Tom Brady, but that wasn't going to happen. But you know, when you're looking at the future, 2 or 3 years from now, Garoppolo is going to be steaming hot. Tom Brady's going to be gone. Now you have to go and look for another quarterback, yada, yada, yada. But nonetheless, reading this, someone stole an average of 5.8 viewers from each of the NFL division playoff games last week, statistically releasing on Wednesday. Revealed. It said the drop off of about 16% from the last year's second weekend playoff games was even steeper than 9.7% decline in TV. I'm sorry, my eyes. Decline in TV viewership to the NFL experience during the regular season. So the NFL is still in the decline. I'm sorry this is so lengthy, but there is a whole lot of information out there about this. And you guys should be looking at this more than looking at gematria and stuff like that. Because if you really believe or don't believe it's fixed, you want to start getting into things like this. And this is going to actually help a lot of you guys who stress out over the NFL. I'm going to read some comments and then I'm going to be out of here. So let me do this real quick. I'm sorry, you guys. Boy, this is not going to be real quick. Ooh. I'm going as fast as I can. My internet is super slow, super. And I want to try to get to some of these. Just get to some of these comments. Nope. Okay. St. Byron commented. He says, of course, he's talking about what Tom Brady can do at Tom Brady's age. The reason why they only suffered one penalty last game is simply because, if you hit Tom Brady, you're going to get flagged. You hit anybody pretty much on the Patriots team, you're going to get flagged. He was like, this is the reason why Tom Brady can do what he can do at age 40. And Dave C. Lowe was replying to Sanchez and talking about now the Patriots, Tom Brady's, they have to save the league. And that's what you're talking about, the ratings of saving the league. And let's see, Bob Jones was commenting on how the defensive player did not try to stop Danny from catching the ball. Butt Naked also commented on the defender. And Bob also commented on the lack of penalties, which was ridiculous. So I want to say big up to John Engelbrecht. I'm sorry, John. I do not know how to say your name, sir. Please forgive me. Lots more comments. I'm trying to get to another subscriber before my time is up here. And Comment. I had another subscriber that came through earlier. Anyways, I appreciate all you guys. It's your boy Tone 202, man. God loves you, man. Focus on the Christ King, man. Focus on him more than you focus on this other stuff. Take it as just having fun. I'm out.